Create a new save. Let's continue. Would you like to see a recap before starting episode 3? Yes, but just a recap of episode 2. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. Wow, that's some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I'm gonna keep my ears open for you. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes around. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I want to make sure she's getting into trouble out there. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We're wondering if it's okay if Reese could come hang out? Nothing strenuous, we promise. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask. As you leave Tabitha's office, you take a moment to get your bearings, only to be interrupted by a sudden movement of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks hops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. She didn't. I guess old Maxwell's place didn't cut it as a secret hangout. The Shaw Mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago, after the collapse that killed over 100 people. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. What is it? You know I'm in a meeting. The kid just snuck into the Shaw Mine. Figured you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do these things keep happening to me? Whatever, I'll head over there just as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me. God, I didn't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you're listening. My dad's a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left. They're actually real safe. We can hang out here whenever we want. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. My dad says our house is haunted. Nika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Wait a second. Where'd the three of you run off to? Are you kidding me? There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it. You can feel it in your chest, like the deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there. Cousin dives towards you, not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Timo, are you alright? Wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. Know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the dark road. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty bed, your head empty of thoughts after your time in the Shaw Mine. You barely even notice the dust. You close your eyes. You see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-streaked cheeks. Trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future would hold. Trapped. Oh, wake up. Sunshine filters through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. You pull yourself out of bed. You can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw Mill still stuck to your skin. We're gonna take a shower. Even in that filthy bathroom. Oh God. You step in the guest bathroom and enter the shower. Water is hot and surprisingly enough clean. Steam fills your lungs and the soot washes down the drain. Every minute feels like another thread holding this town together is starting to ravel. Thoughts of doom consume me. You know, Wayne, you wonder how many times this watch. Think about finally being out of this hellhole, safe in your own bed. I'm gonna go with mythical. Every minute feels like another thread holding this town together starts to unravel. Thoughts of doom consume you. Wash away your sins. You've been unlocked. You're done here. Turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Time to start your day. Check in on Dustin. Look out the window. Wait, who's Dustin? Look out the window. You walk over the window, fondly thinking about the pleasant view it provided you on Monday. It's the same view. Every time you see that doll, your heart skips a beat. It hasn't moved, right? You pull out your phone and open up your group chat with Stella and Kanika. Let's see. Send a photo of a pained old man. What's the game plan? Probably be a bit before you get a response. Oh, there's two of them now. Okay, Dustin's what we called. Oh, that's right. That's his name. Morning, Dustin. Who's your friend? Her name Mom. She come to visit. I Dustin Mom. I had to stay with Dustin until glass house empty. Dustin says you're not dangerous. Dustin's a fool. All humans dangerous. Mom not understand Dustin. What happened to the glass house? Asshole squatter move in. Kick Dustin Mom out. Squatter try to eat Mom. Squatter evil. Squatter may be asshole, but Squatter not evil. He's just trying to survive, like all creature. Dustin still have much to learn. I had a rough night. Y'all console me? It was because Cat Monster? Dustin was scared too. If Cat Monster don't want Dustin to eat Cat Monster, or if Cat Monster want to eat Dustin, Cat Monster will have to go through Dustin Mom first. Dustin Mom will kill. Then Dustin Mom eat like king. This is nature. Gotta go now. Bye. Hey, I like the possums. Pull up the phone to text Stella. How are you holding up? Probably be a bit before a response. Just ask them how they're holding up. You enter the kitchen and find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. I like how she's eating ice cream for breakfast. Okay. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She is alone. Rufio glares at you from your usual spot on the counter. As a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. Vile woman. Destroying the natural order of my kitchen. Tabitha's gaze swivels from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. Let's see. No, we're not offering the why do we even have the boiled peanuts? Oh, let's say hello. Hi, I'm Timma. It's me. Good morning. I'm Janie. Just here to do a little weekly cleaning. Whatever cleaning Miss Tabitha will let me do, at least. I could have this place looking brand new, you know. Don't go making any big renovations or moving anything around. I like knowing where my stuff is. Okie. Nice to finally meet you, Timma. I mean, I guess I did meet you on Monday when you popped in the diner. Janie. But seeing someone somewhere and meeting them face to face are two completely different things, I suppose. Thanks. All I'm trying to say that it's wonderful to finally actually meet you. I'm so happy part of the family is here to keep Miss Tabitha company. Well, with everything, that is. Janie. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tabitha. Am I being too much again? Tabitha grumbles in acknowledgement. Talk to animals. Let's... Nobody lives in the garden, right? Gosh, I wouldn't know. Miss Tabitha won't let me touch the place. Nobody lives in the garden. Why are you even asking? Remain silent. Good. I'm glad you have the sense to drop it. Bonjour, Rufu. Bonjour. Sacre bleu. I don't think you could just bonjour me just because I slept at the foot of your bed last night. I still despise you. Three humans at once. This is abhorrent. You stink. Your stink will linger here for hours. How am I supposed to bear it? I see. Talking to my cat again. Are you sure you didn't get hit on the head last night? You don't say good morning to your pets? I always make sure I talk to my farm cats and alpaca like they're people. To me, they kind of are. Let's see. Any update on Rosalina? Yeah, they had to take her foot. Oof. Her dad's lucky she's alive. True. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I have an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible winds up happening. You're coming with me. Let's see. Hold on. You can't just tell me Rosalina lost her foot and move on like that. Her foot? Jesus, Tabitha. You're not mincing woods. I'll meet you outside. Let's see. So, yeah, meant by getting hurt. Yeah. I wish I could have done something. Or I probably just made the wrong choices. Take her foot? Jesus, Tabitha, you're not mincing words. What, you rather I sugarcoat what happened? Rather I say it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to save her leg. The kid was brave. She was horrifically punished for it. Sparing the grisly details does her a disservice for her own comfort. Now, shall we go? Or would you rather keep bombarding me with guilt for something I personally begged you not to do? Let's see. I'll meet you outside. Are you seriously asking for time alone here after I just probed you? After you just probed me about whether there's a squatter, whether the garden has a squatter problem? What do you take me for, an idiot? I'm already behind on the day. I don't have time to deal with hijinks. Jenny, lock up when you leave. And don't go rearranging anything. You saved, yeah. I said in the spoiler, only with keen eyes could you have saved, yeah. Yeah, and do make sure, please keep it to English. As you're ready to leave, Jenny approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Thelma, before you go, what happened last night? I mean, I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and I heard it again. I just wanted to say I'm so sorry you got caught up in all that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. Last night was an unavoidable tragedy, but I'm afraid there's more to come. Thanks. Last night was a lot. Let's see. Let's just say thanks a lot. Thanks, last night was a lot. If you ever need to talk to anyone, my husband is the local pastor. He's a gentle man, and he's always willing to lend an ear. He's actually been going a little stir-crazy ever since we moved here. What, with nobody really attending sermons. Accident? Yeah, no worries. It'd probably do him a lot of good to talk to you, or to talk through your worries. Sounds wonderful. Thanks for the offer. You know what? Let's leave the door open. Of course, he's always ready and willing to talk with people, so feel free to stop by the church anytime. The door is always open. Have you seen anything weird around town? Do you know anything about a guy named Wayne? Have you seen any weird creatures around town? You know what? Now that you mention it, I heard some folks talk about weird creatures, but I haven't seen anything myself. Unless you count whatever massive rats have taken up residence in the church. My little tulip keeps pretending her little fairy friends or something, taking nibbles out of our trash. My husband got some traps, so hopefully that'll be dealt with soon enough. I'm gonna stop the two of you right there. Emma, I'm busy and not in the mood to stand around while you play Nancy Drew with my cleaning lady right in front of me. We're leaving. Bye, Janie. All right then, be safe out there, you two. Tabitha practically drags you out from the estate, one hand clasped firmly around your arm. She continues to drag you all the way into her car, and from there, into town. The ride was uneventful. Your cousin, surprisingly more focused on the road unsurprisingly more focused on the road than making conversation. All right, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. What are we gonna do in the general store? We gave him some tea from Sybil. You drink tea? Yeah, whatever. I do a lot of stuff you don't know about. After everything that's happened the past 2 days, it's nice to just go on an errand. Exactly. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. The flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Fine. Okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you would never let me so much as even think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Other people and their drama. More people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. I've never been one for public displays like that. I think it's healthy to express yourself. Good for her, honestly. I'd be losing it if Miles were my brother. Let's see. Yeah, I'd be losing it if Miles were my brother. Yeah, thanks in part to his antics, the kid's lost her foot. That's pretty serious. Yeah, you probably would be. That damn, oh God, that damn smile indeed. That, no, you need to smile more. It's it's a skill like any other. And if you don't smile, then you end up looking crazy when you try to. Burning daylight. Come on already. The bell of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Timma, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. Let's see. Is Kanika okay? Of course, she just needs some time to cool down. Emotions are a little high considering everything that happened yesterday. She'll settle down soon enough. I'm just glad both my little ones made it out safely. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them, with the twinkling of bells. Chat with Miles. So, Miles, before you can finish your thought, you're halted by the tinkling of bells announcing another patron. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Tim, aren't you? Yeah, I'm famous. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh no. Policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy. Let's see. These choices suck. It wasn't pretty. Sorry, Bo. Let's just say sorry for your loss. Thank you. Policeman said he might just be out hunting somewhere, but me and my mama both know he ain't coming back. Mom was pretty broken up about it. I'm trying to hold it together since I'm the man of the house now. It ain't easy. Me and him was supposed to bring Big Betty to the state fair this week. Now he's gone, and as this morning, so is she. So I suppose I ain't going to the fair. May as well make myself useful and get out in the woods and look for what's left of my daddy. He was there, right? Can you tell me where to look so I can try and find him? It's dangerous up there. I wouldn't go poking around. If they haven't found him yet, there's probably nothing left to find. I don't think you want to see him like that. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're the things that have been stealing your chickens. Let's see. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're the monsters that show up when something bad's gonna happen. They're the things that have been stealing your chickens. I ain't never heard of ditchlings before, but whatever they are, they won't stop me from finding my daddy. You seen anything strange on the farm in the past couple of days? No, not really. Been awfully busy with everything that's still happening. Them chickens keep disappearing though. He died on the northeast edge of town, off the, Asginia Trail. Thank you, Timma. I appreciate you trying to help us out. I don't rest easy knowing he's out there somewhere, all by his lonesome. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Oh my god, I overslept. Still gotta make myself breakfast. Meet me at the library after we figure out a plan. Hey again. Lol. If you want to come over for breakfast, would always love to hang out. Then it buzzes again. Somebody was busy this morning. Hey again. If you want to hang out before the library thing, I'm parked in the abandoned lot by the gas station. It's hard to miss. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. Wait for Tabitha. Go to the diner, see Avery. Swing by Stella's. Check in on Oscar. Kind of way to wait for Tabitha. So I feel like, you know, we do need to get closer to Kanika. And I would like to swing by Stella, but I feel like that's really optional. I feel like that won't change our relationship too much. Choices, yeah. I like Avery. Avery's cool, and he might know something because he says he hears. I'm gonna say, but I want to wait for Tabitha. I want to get Tabitha to open up more. But let's wait for Tabitha. President will probably be back in a second. It's best you just stay put. You and Miles share uncomfortably long moments of silence as Bo continues to shop. This part is very important, yeah. Let's see. How are your dailies going? How are your dailies going? Miles doesn't dignify your question with an answer. So, did you hear about how Rosalina's doing? No. Oscar apparently posted on Facebook about it. You seem ancient enough to have a Facebook account. Why don't you check yourself? I'm not your little newsboy. She lost her foot, Miles. Shit, really? Maybe Rosalina's cooler than I thought. What? Miles returns to the phone. Tabitha bursts out of the tea room, tucking a patch of herbs in her coat as she walks. She looks up to you in surprise. Wow, you're actually stayed. I was kind of expecting you to go running off the instant I left you alone. Family's important. I'm not just gonna ditch you. No one else in this town interests me. Why would I bother with them? Family's important. I'm not just gonna ditch you. That's a nice sentiment. We'll see if you can actually put to practice by not doing anything weird or dangerous for the rest of the week. I've got a couple hours to spare. I'll pick up some sodas and we can get out of here. I don't like lingering where just anyone could walk up and start talking to me. Tabitha leaves the store, wishing for you to follow. No spoilers because of the relationship with the characters. Yeah. I imagine that the choice is going to dramatically affect the relationship with different characters. Tabitha stops in front of a small house on a quiet hill just off Main Street. The Scarlets own most of the houses out here. We rent them out to employees. Just more convenient, you know? Why can't we hang out something normal? Why can't we hang out someplace normal? Cool. I never thought the estate was your secret lair. That seems sinister. That's actually pretty normal. It's pretty normal for, especially like in a company town like this. So this is a company town. This is actually pretty normal. Cool. Yeah, it is cool. It's nice to have a place where nobody can bother me. Now come on. Make ourselves scarce before we're spotted. Cousin pulls out a heavy set of keys from our pockets. She picks out one marked with a bright strip of green tape and unlocks the door. Come on in. Don't worry, it's empty. You follow your cousin in the model home. We haven't rented this one out for years. Why are we staying here? I come to get away from it all. Does that make sense? It's kind of like a vacation home, but I don't have to travel. Anyway, make yourself comfortable and have a soda. Tabitha hands you a cream soda before settling in on the couch. Mystical. Thought this home gives the appearance of being lived in, with its furnished and lack of dust. It feels nearly empty and bare. It feels nearly as empty and barren as the estate. There's no soul in this place, only the dream of one. About family, talk about your relationship, people in this town. You're coming hunting with us tonight. Ghost hunting with us tonight. I kind of want to ask her that, but let's start off with, let's talk about Tabitha. You actually like running their minds? You actually like running the mines. It's a job. It's a job, an important job. I had years of Elaine drilling that into my head. What would you want to do if you weren't here? I'm sorry you never got a chance to live your own life. You always give the mines to me. No. What if I moved here after everything you said and done? Who cares if the town falls in ruin? Why is that your responsibility? You should leave. Things are bad everywhere. Let's see. What would you want to do if you weren't here? Does it matter? I am here. You ever get to travel? I saw your blowing rock mug. What? Oh, that must have been one of Jenny's. He's always saying we didn't have enough cups. There are 3 cups. That's plenty. One for me, one for Perlane, and one for the occasional guest. But Jenny said her husband has a ton of dumb little souvenir mugs from his travels. Now that I've asked, she tells me stuff about her family. I thought I've asked, she just tells me stuff about her family. Anyways, she said they have mugs to spare, as if I needed her charity. I guess she must have snuck in a few under my nose. I have to remember to toss it when I get back. Anyways, to answer your question, no, I don't travel. Too much to do so. Sure, I'd like to see the Outer Banks one day, but I'm the head of a company. It's not like anyone can cover for me. We live in a massive mansion, but only have 3 cups? She already talked about the cups. Let's not go back into cups. You should be nicer to Jenny. She seems like a nice lady who's just trying to connect with you. Please spare me the lecture. I shouldn't have to make connections with random people just because they want to make connections with me. I just want her to come by once a week, clean the house, then pick up her paycheck and leave me alone. Verlaine was a monster. You never left Scarlet's Hollow? Of all the places you can go, the Outer Banks, maybe when this week is over, we can go to the beach together. Maybe when this week is over, we can go to the beach together. I don't think so. Can we try some of the tea that you picked up? It smells nice. Nope, it's sleepy time tea. You don't want to drink it in the middle of the day. You like living here? Like I said, it's the only thing I know. You don't need to have lived somewhere else to know if you like living. You don't need to have lived somewhere else to know if you like living here. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You do, actually. Everything in life requires context to properly understand. Maybe to fully understand, but you can hate a place that you've lived your entire life. That doesn't mean there won't be places that you hate more than where you're living. But it also doesn't mean you need to find some place that you hate less to know that you hate where you're living. I don't have context here. It seems hypocritical from someone who gave me a hard time for being in the city. You don't need context to know if you like living somewhere. Are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy. Why wouldn't I be? Why do you come here? Like I said, it's like getting away from it all. People know they can find me at the estate, but they don't know about this place. It's nice to escape from being known, at least for a little while. About your family, talk about your relationship. What was Perlane like? Okay, I guess you should know at least some things about the woman whose funeral you'll be attending. She was my mother. She was your mom's twin sister. Ah, I didn't know they were twins. Fraternal twins. They didn't look alike. Same with their personalities, night and day, from what I've heard. Elaine was a hard ass. That comes with the territory. I mean, what else do you want to know? Did you two get along? What do you think? I don't know. How did she die? Sleep apnea. Right. What was your dad like? No, he just up and left one day. Didn't want anything to do with us anymore, I guess. They never got divorced, just separated. He probably couldn't be bothered to fill out any paperwork, especially considering he would lose any and all claim to the Scarlet fortune if they divorce. I mean, not really. He should get like half of it. And he'd have to pay child support for a kid he couldn't be bothered to call on her birthday. Does no one in this town have two parents? Another member of the dad's class. I'm sorry. Must have been hard on you. Sounds like a real loser. Sorry, that must have been really hard for you. Yeah, I don't really think about it. If he didn't want anything to do with me, his loss. Can you tell me anything about any other family members? Wow, did Vivian really tell you nothing about us or her upbringing? Fine, I'll give you a brief history, since she never bothered. Elaine and Vivian were raised by their grandmother because our grandmother died in childbirth. Our great-grandmother, Grandma Eddie, ran the mine before Perlane, and Perlane took over. Now I am, following in their footsteps. What was Grandma Eddie like? Did you know her? Tabitha was quiet for a moment, her eyes distanced. Kinda scary. Her voice is quiet. Takes another sip of her cream soda. What happened to the rest of the family? Silas had a lot of kids. I read about him in the library yesterday. What am I, an encyclopedia? We have documents on this stuff and some kind of fancy family tree somewhere in this state, but I don't have any, but I haven't memorized it. From what I can remember, our grandmother had a kid sister that died of some childhood illness. Then she died having our moms. And I think Grandma Eddie had some brothers, but I vaguely recall something about them fighting in World War II. One way or another, they clearly didn't stick around. As for anyone who came before the 20th century, damned if I know. That's ancient history. A matriarchal mining company, that seems unusual. The past generation were all women. That's just how the cards fell. And we never let some stranger jeopardize this country. It stays in the bloodline. What kind of things did Perlane tell you about me and my mom? The sort of things you'd probably expect. A lot of it wasn't necessarily wrong either. What do you really think of me? You really want to know? I don't mince words. Hit me. That's what you want. You push my buttons. It's like you exist to antagonize me. I don't even know why I took you here. Let's see. Can't believe we're actually hanging out. Isn't this why you came all the way down from Townsville? I am really glad I came up here. Yeah, it's good to have you here. That smile. My goodness. I'm supposed to have dinner at Reese's place. Do you know him? Reese? Oh yeah, that dude that used to hang out with Kanika and Stella. I kind of remember him. Quiet, smelled weird, stopped coming to school at one point. I guess he got sick or something. I know his mom better than I know him. She's been everyone's doctor for as long as I can remember. She's intimidating. I've always liked her. Guess it's not hereditary though. Reese seemed like a bit of a wet blanket to me. I know I've already asked, but can you tell me what the deal is between you and Stella, now that we're hanging out? Oh, not that again. But fine. We were close in high school. Really, really close. We'd have sleepovers a few nights a week, spend all night watching monster movies and eating chips, and anyway, Perlane didn't like her. I always had to lie and say that I was going over to her place to study. When we graduated, it was impossible to see her anymore. There were no more excuses to go study, and I was too busy learning the ropes of the mine. Perlane made sure every waking moment was occupied. I didn't have time for friends. I never needed friends before meeting Stella, so it was easy enough to slip back into that mindset and trying to move on. I'm into her, is that cool? You should hang out with her again. Not like Perlane can stop you. You should hang out with her again. It's not like Perlane can stop you, and she misses you. Tabitha takes another sip from her cream soda, avoiding making eye contact. I guess there isn't anything standing between us anymore. That hadn't really occurred to me yet. I don't think she'd like me now. Lots changed. You want me to try to get you in with Nika? Please. If she's anything like me, that would only make her hate me more. Have dignity, Tima. You had some harsh things to say about Oscar last night. Do you really believe in what you said? I do. Some people shouldn't have kids. Okay, that's... I like Oscar. I think he's trying his best. Yeah, kids in their rebellious phase, they can be a lot. It can be a lot. And what those kids were doing was extreme. I remember, so when I was a wee baby Timma, I got to ride my bike to school, which helped out my parents a lot because both my parents had my mom was a nurse. She is a nurse. And she had to commute a really, really long way. It was like an hour commute each way. And her shift, I believe, would sometimes start at like 7 a.m. So that means she had to leave for work before 6 a.m. So that means that if I got a ride from her, it would be like 5:30 in the morning. I get to school at 6. And our schools didn't generally open until 6:30 in the morning. So I'd be standing outside waiting for them to let us in. And they weren't supposed to, like, my junior high wasn't supposed to open until 7, and they had the basketball courts open, and they had the cafeteria open, and served breakfast. But I also had before school stuff, ever since like 7th grade. Even in elementary, like they had like before school care and stuff like that, but So if my mom took me to work, we had to get to school crazy early. And if my dad took me, I could get there a little bit later, but not a whole lot later. So when I just rode my bike to school, my parents were free to have, they didn't have to have their mornings so early. So they were kind of stoked that I would ride my bike to school. Because they also had to, like drop off my sister and take my brother to his preschool and stuff like that, wherever he was, either elementary or preschool. So it just took off a whole load off of them. So, but that would mean that I could leave school whenever I wanted. So I usually had like sports after schools, but I didn't always have sports. So sometimes that let me go off and hang out with friends. And, you know, I had a friend that lived across the street from my junior high that had like, he had a Nintendo 64 and we'd play Smash 64. We'd play GoldenEye. We'd play Time Splitters. And he also had a little basketball court in his backyard. So we played basketball. It was great. It was fun. But again, there was no cell phones. There was no real way to tell my parents where I was or what I was doing unless I called them like on a payphone, because we didn't have a cell phone at the time. The cell phones were still pretty exclusive to, you know, rich people. So, you know, it gave me a lot of freedom, but it also gave my parents a lot of anxiety when they didn't know when I was going to get home. So I didn't stay out late. Like, you know, if school ended at 3:30, I might not get home till like 5:36, and it gave my parents a lot of anxiety. So that was my kind of mischievousness being bad. I didn't go and hang out in abandoned mines. But I didn't necessarily tell them everything I was doing and where I was at all times. What do you think of Avery? Who? Avery works at the diner, wears plant shirts. I have no idea who you're talking about. Are you sure you don't want to talk about Wayne? Yeah, it's a sore spot for me. At some point this week, you're gonna have to stop brushing off everything that's happening around town. You think I'm brushing things off? I'm dealing with a mine collapse right now. I'm burying my mother in 4 days. My work is what keeps this town running. Just because I'm focused on what's in front of me doesn't mean I don't care. You know Sybil well? Everyone in town knows her. Why didn't you hire Janie? Arlene hired Janie. She was my babysitter before she started cleaning the estate. The police are really on my ass. I wouldn't really worry about them. Our family is the law around these parts. So you should just do your best to stay on my good side. Alright, let's invite her ghost hunting. I'm very curious to see what she does. Are you coming ghost hunting with us tonight? Is that actually happening? Bella will be there. But so will Kanika. I doubt she'll be thrilled to see me again. There's no point in arguing with her. If you're going to get up to any paranormal stuff, I better be there to save your skin if it gets hairy. Count me in. Let's go. Thanks for taking me out here. Your phone buzzes before Tabitha has a chance to respond. Could you stop texting me for 1 second? Oh, it's your wait. Almost forgot. It's Mayor Jimmy Day. Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar. Meet y'all there in half an hour. Totally blank on that. Been having weird foggy morning. While they're still doing Mayor Jimmy Day thing even after last night. Do you think news has spread yet? But yeah, we should get over there and see Oscar. See y'all soon. Somebody's popular. Why is everyone so jazzed about meeting the mayor? It's Mayor Jimmy Day. Mayor Jimmy Day again? What a ridiculous event. You know he's a dog, right? Did they fill you in on that little detail? We haven't had a human... Oh, he's an actual dog. Okay. The mayor of the town is an actual dog. We haven't had a human mayor in Scarlet Hollow since at least the early 1900s. We've been a dog mayor town since then. Tabitha takes another sip of her soda, smirking. Everyone knows it's our family that holds the power in this town. Okay, that is ridiculous. Still sounds like it could be kind of fun. Even I can admit, it's funny watching everyone fawning over little guy and his little mayor getup. And if Stella's gonna be there, yeah, count me in. We can finish our sodas and head over. Hooray! I can fix her. Spent quality time with Tabitha. How do I look? It's been a while since I've been out in public like this. Oh. Excuse me, Miss Scarlet. Can I help you? Becca stares at you from a distance as the furious woman tears into Tabitha. This must be her mother. What the hell do you think you're doing down here? Grinning like a buffoon after everything that happened last night. A mine collapse almost killed my poor, sweet, innocent child, and you thought it was good to retaliate by demoting my husband? We've gotten used to a new lifestyle. You can't just take that away from us for something that was your fault. I heard that one girl had to have her foot amputated. It could have been my child. Don't think I won't be pressing charges. Mom, you're embarrassing me. Shut up, Becca. Mommy is advocating for you. Your husband told you... Let's see. Your husband told your daughter it was safe to go into that mine. Of course he was demoted. I'm right here. Even if he did, it wouldn't have mattered if the entrance to that mine was actually secured. He'll be held to pay with a Scarlet. What legal grounds do you think you even have? There are signs the place was boarded up, I did my legal duty, and you don't have a leg to stand on. So don't try to threaten me. Mom, can we just go, please? If I were you, I'd listen to your brat. You haven't heard the last of us. You'll see. Bring it on. The woman storms off just as quickly as she stormed in, Becca following at a distance. God dang it. She's right. I can't just hang around the town the day after something like that. It doesn't look right. I should be up there, even if it's just to oversee what's going on. I'm supposed to run that place. I gotta get my head in the game. I can't slip up like this again. Tabitha sighs, straightening up. Her scowl returns. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you at the library tonight. Your cousin turns and heads back to her car, leaving you alone on Main Street. You enter the library alone. It's busier than usual, and a small crowd has formed in the corner of the main foyer. Yes, you're here. Thank God we have something to do this morning. My family's been driving me nuts. Yeah, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Tima to the mayor for like the entire time I've known him. It'll be worth. Trust. All right, shall we? Yep, he's a dog. I like how he has a Secret Service agent standing behind him. Oh, is that the cop? That's the cop that wears his sunglasses all the time, isn't it? You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sachet and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows he's in the position of authority he's been elected to. And unless you're mistaken, the serious man by his side is Deputy Franklin, one of the policemen you spoke to following your encounter in the woods on Monday. The mayor's little nose starts twitching as you approach. His doggy eyes shine with a curious intensity. What have you got? You've got something. Something wet and nutty? Wait, dogs can't eat peanuts, can they? Hold on. I'm gonna Google this. Hold on. I know this is cheating, but I'm not gonna poison a doggo. So, can dogs eat peanuts? Yes, they can in small quantities. The best top are salted. Peanuts are not considered toxic to dogs. It's been a couple of days. So far, it seems like it doesn't do anything, and it's a way to get rid of these peanuts. Yeah. You hold out your slightly now rancid bag of boiled peanuts. The mayor's nose twitches eagerly as their strong odor, and then he's on them in a flash, ripping through the plastic and devouring the soft-shelled legumes. Security guard, drop it. Sir, drop it. Generous campaign contribution achievement unlocked. Security detail tears them away, but it's too late. The peanuts have already been eaten. Thank you for the generous campaign donation. You better hope these nuts settle in well. If Mary gets any tummy troubles after eating those disgusting pocket peanuts, they'll be held to pay. Yeah, he's gonna get it. Those things have been in our bag for like 3 days. Why? I never. Now you see what I mean. Not so much as begging for begging before he dove right into those snacks. I've smelt those peanuts on you since day one, and you never saw me become such an animal over them. Good morning, citizen. I don't believe we met. Holds out his paw as if to shake your hand. It's lovely to meet you. You take his little paw in your hand, but the burly security detail stops you. No paw shaking. Only head pats and ear scratches are allowed. I must apologize for my security detail. He has my best interest at heart, but he can be a little gruff at times. Hey, aren't you Deputy Franklin? Not when I'm off duty. Mayor scoffs. Off duty. The services you render to me are more important than your police work. Gretchen says you're a lowlife. He's a dog. I knew he'd be a dog. You still haven't found Duke's body? What are you even doing here? Like I said, I'm off duty, and I don't make a habit of discussing official police business with out-of-towners. And especially not with suspicious out-of-towners like you. Now, let's hear the stranger out. Tourism is a part of this town's lifeblood, after all. Hey, Timma hasn't done anything wrong. I was there. This discussion is over, Miss Richmond, unless you'd like to be added to our suspicious person list as well. Now meet the mayor like a good citizen and move along. I knew he'd be a dog. Let's see. Mr. Mayor, there's something very serious going on in town. We need help. We're doomed. Mr. Mayor, there's something very serious going on in this town. We need your help. Murmurs store in the crowd behind you as you relay the danger to the mayor. Of course, the pet disappearances. I've been made aware of the situation. But what do you expect me to do about it? It's autumn. That's tourist season in Scarlet Hollow. I can't turn away the lifeblood of this town, not with the mind faltering the way that it is. There was a mine collapse last night. We don't need any more news of disaster coming out of Scarlet's Hollow. Do you understand? So you know there's monsters laying eggs in the local animals, and you're just gonna let that happen? So you know there's monsters laying eggs in the local animals, and you're just gonna let that happen? Laying eggs? Don't be ridiculous. I'm sure whatever's causing these disappearances is just a bear or a mountain lion. We've all smelled them up in the hills. They'll move on soon enough. This is a southern town. Plenty of people are armed around these parts. They'll take care of the problem before it gets out of hand. And in the meantime, it's best not to cause a panic. I'm a pillar of this community. It's my job to protect the strength of my constituents. I've heard just about enough from you, Jimmy. Look at you, putting on a show in front of your adoring fans. While the dogs of this town are snatched up by monsters in the wood, hoping the humans will clean it up for you. When are you going to finally do something meaningful for the hairier citizens of Scarlet Hollow? Now, Miss Gretchen, there's no need. Scraps never would have let things prowl the woods for so long. And yet, you sit back waiting for the humans to notice, letting more innocent dogs suffer. You know, I almost lost my life to those things the other night. And my goodness, haven't you heard about poor Duke? Now, Gretchen, a lot of those were old dogs. It is fair for me to assume they simply went to the big farm upstate. Don't you dare talk to me about old dogs. I guess every politician's corrupt and cowardly, even if they're actually dogs. Stella, your dog is yelling at the mayor. Wow, Gretchen's barking a lot. I don't think she likes the mayor. Let's see. Should we make fun of his lack of power? She's got a point. She's got a good point, Mr. Mayor. Damn right I do. Graps would have been out in the woods, first sign of trouble, tearing out the throats of any creatures who dared threaten the dogs of Scarlet Hollow. And yet, he's here posing for the little rectangles, like nothing was wrong in this town. Gretchen squirms in Stella's arms, straining to get to the mayor. Whoa, Gretchen. Calm down, old girl. You're gonna pull a muscle. Mr. Franklin, I think now's a good time to dispose of this riffraff. Miss Richin, I'm gonna have to ask you and your dog to step away from the mayor. I should have known those two would never be able to get along. Stella walks off, still struggling to hold Gretchen, as she shouts insults back at Jimmy. Ingrate, ne'er-do-well. You dog? Kanika is quick to follow. It looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Oh, hello. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're interrupted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Why did the music get so, I don't know, foreboding? It's hard to put a finger on it. Something compels you to dislike him. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Timma. Everyone's been buzzing about you. Sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Let's see. It's only now that I noticed the painting in the background. Yeah, the one on the left here. Yeah, I noticed that the first time we came in. I think they said there was something. Yeah, it's odd. Definitely odd. Let's see. Gretchen says she didn't vote for the mayor. The mayor is a huckster and a fraud. He only cares about tourism. Let's see. Janie mentioned you this morning. That woman is the light of my life. I'm so glad she's there to help your cousin through this rough patch. I don't have the slightest idea. I'm trying to think of some theory now. Yeah, I'm interesting. Big fire. They're carrying a man tied to a I-beam. Interesting. There's child miner back here, and then there's children running around like weirdly happy about this whole situation. Let's see. Oh, thank God, I've been hoping to find a priest. Hey, do you know anything about ghosts? You mentioned Pearl Lane being in a better place. I don't really want to butter this guy up too much, and I don't want to antagonize him. Gretchen says she didn't vote for the mayor. Pastor goes quiet for a second, his face suddenly white as a sheet. The smile fades from his face as he stares at you intensely, studying your expression. You too? He glances to either side before continuing. Thought I was the only one. Please come visit me at the church soon. Seems like we might have a lot to talk about. He hurries off, suddenly quiet and serious. Nothing to do but catch up with your companions. So he can talk to animals? Oh, yo, no shirt, no problem. Bro, why are you in a... Oh my God. Poor Rosalina. I can't even imagine how scary it's been for her. She seems in high spirits now, but they've got her on some pretty strong pain meds. So I'm not sure how she's going to feel when that wears off. And it was the whole foot. Yeah, it's bad, but she's alive. We'll both be able to move on from this. Just have to get through the tough parts first. See, Tabitha told me what happened. We're here for you. We're here for you, man. Thank you. All of you. Everything feels like it's happened so fast. I know our whole lives have changed, but it's taking my mind a little bit to catch up. I feel like such a mess. I hope it isn't keeping me from being the dad she needs right now. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I better get going. I was only supposed to come back to pick up a few things. Then the hospital called and said there'd been some big bus accident on the highway. And they need the beds, so I have to come pick her. No way. So, after a surgery that significant, you know, a traumatic, you know, a limb being severed that traumatically, if they couldn't handle the patient load, they would just transfer her to another hospital. So I do work in, you know, I'm not a clinician, but I do know how our hospital works and how it diverts people to an extent. They would just send her to another hospital. Like, they wouldn't be like, oh, we can't spare the beds. And if they didn't have ambulances to spare, they would hire they probably have to use an ambulance. And if they couldn't handle the patient load coming in, they would divert the patients coming to that hospital to another hospital, even if they had to fly in by helicopter. So the high trauma patients would be put in the emergency department. If they couldn't handle it, they would stabilize the patients and then either ambulance or helicopter to another hospital. And if Rosalina was in the ICU, because they're either going to go from the ED, and if they're critical but they can be transferred down, they would step down to the ICU. Well, it wouldn't be a step down, it's like a just transfer the ICU. And if Rosaline was in the ICU and she needed to be in the ICU, they're going to send her somewhere else. And if she doesn't need to be in the ICU, they're going to step her down to a lower acuity unit. So yeah, nah. Even though our house is still haunted, and the only place she can lie down until then is the dirty back room that drove her away in the first place. Mayor Jimmy Dean. Wait. Dirty back room that drove her away in the first place. And Mayor Jimmy Day is happening, so sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed. It's okay, Oscar. We're here to help. Yeah, we're gonna get that ghost. We can always go ahead and do a Ghostbuster or whatever, calling it, while you're out. And she'll be able to come back to her old room as soon as she got back. It's probably a good idea, right? Only, but it doesn't come out during the day. So any busting attempts are gonna have to wait until nightfall. I'm still not sure we can get rid of it at all. I think I'd have to see it for myself. It was gone. It managed to trick me a couple times, and I can't handle any more surprises right now. I've got every ghost hunting device known to man. You're in good hands. That's right, we're masters at Phasma. Don't worry, Oscar, we'll fix this. We have the power of friendship on our side. I still don't think ghosts are real. No, we're not getting cold feet. Don't worry, Oscar, we'll fix this. Heck yeah, well, yeah, whatever it is, we'll get to the bottom of it tonight. Thanks, guys, I really appreciate it. I'm heading out. It should be dark by the time we get back, so I suppose I'll see you then. Oscar hurries off, car keys jingling as he jogs out the door. Let's head up to Reese's. Maybe we can get him to come ghost hunting with us. Oh no, you're not gonna try to get Dr. Kelly to let him leave the house, are you? She'll kick us out for even asking. I wonder if he even knows what happened last night. I don't know how to disconnect I don't know how disconnected he is from the news of the town. Geez, should we tell him? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe we'll just play it by ear. Anyway, shall we? I'm gonna go. Fuck the Animals Explorer. So about the mayor. Finally met Pastor Daniel. Or I forgot I invited Tabitha to come ghost hunting. Should we invite Avery ghost hunting? Oh yeah, totally. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that. I'm sure he'd get a hoot out of it. Yeah, I can't say I mind having a calming presence with us tonight. We won't be much help to Oscar if we start jumping at our own shadows. Cool, I'll text him on the way over to Reese's. Before I forget, I invited Tabitha to come ghost hunting. You invited her? Even after last night? Bro, she saved us. What are you talking about? I mean, if anything, I thought she was pretty helpful. Hell, last night was a disaster. For all we know, Tabitha just escalated things. What? Were you not in the same cave? Nisha sighs. Alright, it happened. Let's not get into it. No, Tabitha was very helpful. Again. If we're lucky, she'll be too busy at the mines to even show. I don't say that. If we're lucky, she will show, and the two of you will finally get along. So I finally met Pastor Daniel. It was only a matter of time until he pulled you aside about some grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds so many. Yo, yeah, his vibes were bad. His vibes are terrible. He and Jenny kept trying to get me to go to church. I don't want to say he shares my gift. Do I? No. That's all I really have. That's all I have to say, really. I met him. He's been met. I have no opinions on the man. Oh, really? I always thought he makes a memorable, skin-crawling first impression. Yeah, he has a tend to stick in people's mind for one reason or another. And they're almost never good reasons. The man was grinning all the way through my dad's funeral. As far as I'm concerned, he's a ghoul. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it too. The whole town feels the same way now that I think about it. It must be pretty lonely. You can look for friends elsewhere. I wonder if the pastor's cursed. I felt something odd when he came up to me, and the way everyone dislikes him excessively, unnaturally excessive. I know, this is weird coming from me, but not everything in this town has to be spooky for supernatural reasons. Sometimes people just give off bad vibes. Agreed, we're allowed to dislike him even though he hasn't done anything wrong. We know of. About the mayor. He's corrupt. That dog cares more about tourists than mine. I like the cut of his jib. No, I don't. You should vote for Scraps next election. That's who Gretchen supports. Wait, how do you know about Scraps? Can you actually talk to animals? I've always liked Scraps. Gretchen's got good taste. Alright, shall we head out? The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. Once again, you find yourself in front of Reese's house. Cold hesitation grips you as buildings loom over the... A cold hesitation grips you as the building looms over the hilltop. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later. The sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? Oh, my goodness. Someone get this boy a sandwich. It's too late. The door swings open. Hey. Reese. Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. You must be Tima, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I got all the Tima updates. Yeah, follow me on Twitter and join the Discord, and you can get all the Tima updates. My goodness gracious. Something smells terrible. Something smells terribly off about that boy. Get away from my Stella, you fiend. Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip, as she tries to get between them. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella. And you brought the dog. Great. Yeah, I thought she might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. The dog stays outside. But it's okay. Stella, we can let her chill in my van for a bit. I'll run the AC and leave some treats. You know, I've always have some of those easy chewed dog jerky stashed away. The gal, the gumption. This is a violation of my rights. But we go everywhere together. You want to come in or not? Anika nervously tugs Stella away towards the van. You keep her safe from that monster, Tima. You hear? You don't let a feather of harm fall on my darling Stella. Well, what about you, Tima? Are you coming in? Let's see. Sure. You follow Reese and the doctor inside. Stella and Anika aren't far behind you. The house feels cold. Not only is there odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels sterile, uncomfortably tidy, to the point where you get nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you'd wandered into a real estate showing. So, how can I lend you a hand? By sitting down at the table and not puttering around my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. We can have a quick dinner and you can leave my house and go on about your business. I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. We still have time now, right? You aren't seriously considering your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Sir Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it'd be any worse than the way I keep my room. Okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen. I don't care what you get up to. Cool. We'll just be downstairs. Alright, real quick, friends. Check something real fast. Okay, sorry about that. You won't even know we're here. You make your way towards the basement stairs. Oh, A basement dwelling gamer. Wow, this artwork is intense. The bed, man, I could not. The basement is what you might expect of a portrait artist who spends all of his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edge, while trash and skeletons leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floors. Foolish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. And is dead. Dead. Yeah, this artwork is definitely intense. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately and haven't been cleaning much. Let's see. Your art. Mystical. Each piece exudes a sickening miasma. It's like you can feel something squirming behind the paint. The brushstrokes acting as steel bars, trapping some anguish within. There's a lot of it. I feel the emotions you put into these. They're writhing just behind the paint, radiating pain and anguish. Know what you mean? I feel it too. When I'm working, it's like I'm channeling whatever is plaguing me into the paint. And when they're done, I feel like I've been emptied out, and all the vile things inside of me have been sealed away in the canvas. It's why I make so many of them. Sometimes when I return to a piece, it's almost like I'm offering an invitation for those feelings to slither back under my skin. There's some pieces I can't even look at. I hide them until I forget they exist. I'd rather not let these particular feelings back in. Sounds kinda like therapy. That seems healthy, probably. Yeah, art therapy sounds like it does you good. Being empty must be better than being full of bad thoughts, right? I think so. It works for me, at least. Your mom really looks out for you. That's one way to look at it, I guess. It's possible she's gotten a bit of an edge lately. I think my condition has been stressing her out a lot. It used to be something she thought she can fix, but I think it's kind of accepted that it's just something we'll have to manage. But even if she's a little harsh, she means well. It's like you said, she's just looking out for me. Ask about his illness. Oh wait, we can't. Flirt, I know you think you need her, but there's plenty of people out there who love you. I get it, she's just worried about you. Let's see. Let's leave it at that. Well, no. I guess Kanika has a point. She's a little controlling. Did you know she turned us away yesterday? She said we couldn't even talk to you. You came by? She didn't tell me. I was probably asleep, that's all. She didn't want to wake me. I don't think that's her being controlling or anything. Not to cast doubt on that, but she did say I couldn't bring you any food. She knows how I show my friends how much I appreciate them. And she knows I can work around all kinds of allergies and intolerances. I'm not gonna lie, it felt weird. I don't know, my body's pretty particular when it comes to food. She just prefers to have full control over what I eat, so... okay, maybe she does sound controlling. But it's for a good reason. If I eat the wrong thing, it could really mess me up. She has to regulate my food. What are you sick with? Sorry, Reese. Timma's pretty direct. We don't have to talk about your illness. It's okay. Come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. You're so macabre, Reese. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. You haven't, right? Not exactly. No one really knows what's wrong with me, but it's been getting worse. I can barely keep most food down. My skin always itches. It's like there's worms crawling underneath it. I could live for a long time or a short time. No one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. So I've done my morning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable, but one day I'll wind up in a pine box. Just like everybody else. I'm okay with that. Dang, Reese. I may be goth, but that's some real nihilistic shit. We'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Thanks, guys, but you really shouldn't worry about me. I have my art. I'm doing fine, really. Surely there's something the doctors can do for you. True, we'll all join the worms one day. We gotta make the best of what we got. What's your diagnosis? He says they don't know, so there is no diagnosis. Probably, well, there would be some diagnosis, but it doesn't really matter if they don't know what exactly is causing his condition. True. We'll all join the worms one day. We just gotta make the best of what we got. Tima gets me. This is a cat I can really jive with. Stella, maybe it was a mistake to get these two together. Let's see. So Stella told you about everything that's happened the past couple days? Oh, she's told me all about you guys have found out there. I wish I could see some of it myself, but you know. He gestures in futility toward the walls of the basement. Are you sure you can't sneak out one of these nights? The doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick. You know that. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to. There's nothing to apologize for. I appreciate the effort. Really, I do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die's already been cast. But we're talking about the past couple of days, aren't we? You have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Wait, really? What, you text me? Is that why you texted me what they look like or something? Out of your nightmares? Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put together that we might be seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. Pulls out a sketchbook from one of his piles in his room. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does this mean? They've been lurking around here, though? I don't know. I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. Agree to disagree. Those things are going to be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. What do you think is going on with Wayne? Who? You know, the guy that's been following Tima around? All ominous? Oh, yeah, the slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he's got going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look, for all of our sakes. What do you think of my cousin? She was always so distant and mean. I probably would have thought she had it out for me. Personally, if she wasn't like that towards everyone. Or if I thought she even knew my name. But people changed. Maybe she's nicer now. She's still terrible. You guys just never took the chance to get to know her. She's actually really funny and sweet. I'll pass, thanks. you think this town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point, but I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not, but it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what's it's like out there. There could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. I'd probably tell you if there was a riot. Would Doc Kelly tell you though? I mean, yeah, I hope so, but the point I'm trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. Let's see. You three go way back. Let's see. So you three go way back, huh? Almost to the womb. The school here is a tiny K through 12. So 12th grade is the final grade in high school before you go to college in the United States. K being kindergarten, that's usually 5 or 6, and then 12 grades. So you'll be 17 or 18 usually by grade 12. Yeah. So a lot of school districts in a lot of small towns, they have all the students in one singular building. Not a lot of towns, but there are many towns out here that are like that. When I was going to school, my town, it was, depending on what school you went to, it was either kindergarten, it was usually K through 6th grade. And then we had junior highs when I was going to school, which was 7th through 9th grade. And then high school was, 7th, 8th and 9th grade. And then high school was 10, 11, 12. But they switched it at some point so that it was K through 5th grade was elementary. And then they went from junior highs to middle schools, which was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then they had high schools, which were 9 through 12. Yeah. The school here is tiny. Not exactly a one-room school. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. So yeah, in the olden days, schools were basically just we're literally a one-room schoolhouse. So kids would go to school, and it would be everything in one classroom essentially. We're lucky we got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't even able to make any friends their own age. They just happened to be born around the same time. Some real jerks. And we were stuck with them through their whole school career. Poor kids. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks. A certain Scarlet I can name. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when she got past that. Maybe to you, the way she used to look at me, you'd think I'd rolled in something foul every morning before school. Same here. Though, to be fair, the feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it, though. Let's see. What the movie collection you got? Got any recs? Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shino-Chi Deathblood? I saw that for the first time recently, and it blew me away. Excellent example of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. We can even put it on after dinner if you guys are interested. Dang, I'd be down for that, but we've got to head over to Oscar's after this. We promised we'd ghostbust his place. He apparently has been dealing with some bad haunting. And I feel we should really go there for him tonight, considering everything that's happened. He and Rosalina both need our support right now. Let's see. Yeah. I'll take a rain check on that though. Yeah, we definitely come by for movie night sometime this week. I'm free tomorrow night. Same goes for Timma. You're just Making plans for me? I didn't realize we're at that stage. I should probably go to work tomorrow, but I can close up early. If you need someone to pose for your paintings this week, that'd be incredible, though I should warn you I work odd hours. I don't usually pick up a brush until late at night. But if that's not a deal breaker, it would be great to use a model other than myself and have some company. Do we want to invite him ghost hunting? Yeah, let's invite him. Want to come ghost hunting with us tonight? Oh wow, do you think he'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along. Well, that would be so amazing, but I haven't had the best of luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking to town is enough to put me into bed for a week. It sucks. But make sure you bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table. Guess that's it for catching up. Make sure you wash your hands with soap. What else are you going to wash your hands with? Dirt? I don't want anyone sharing their germs at the dinner table. Sure thing, Doc. Yes, ma'am. Make your way towards the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you've accidentally wandered into a different, older house. But more than that, you feel something radiating from behind it. Something dark and cold. You felt this before, in the dusty tunnels you so narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum, like a muted scream heard through layers of rock, trying to draw you towards it. You feel lightheaded. You are compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. Something wants you to find it. Open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door. Oh my gosh. This is new. This has never happened before. Hold on, can we... There's a different option. Snap yourself out of it? Okay. I mean, this is... We gotta snap ourselves out of it. You do your best to snap yourself out of it. Turning into the bathroom, beautifully washing your hands before joining your companions at the table. Dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Sounds like a good dinner. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense. His shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite you on the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun in the window behind her. Pills. She slides a few tablets towards Reese. He obediently swallows them. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? No, it's from a jar. I worked too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Well, you have excellent taste in brands, and if you ever want any tips on easy home-cooked pasta sauces, you know No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Thanks for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. Yeah, we're 100% not going to accuse her of poisoning her son. Talk about Reese, small talk. What exactly does he have? It must break your heart having to isolate your son from the world like this. You think Reese might feel better off if he got to see people more often? Jeez. Reese is a talented artist. You must be proud. He has a lot of skill, honed through practice and dedication. Can't say I understand a lot of his pieces, but of course I'm proud. Thanks, Doc. What exactly does he have? He has a combination of genetic diseases that give him a fragile immune system, among other things. It's too much to get into, a lot of technical terms that I have to explain. It's not good dinner talk, and I can't be pleasant for him. I have to hear it again, so let's drop it. I'm fine talking about it. I'd rather we talk about something else. You can feel the tension at the table start to rise. Let's see. Do you think Reese might feel better if he got to see people more often? No. I'm his doctor and his mother. You are someone who met him for the first time less than half an hour ago. One of us is a little more qualified to make decisions about his life. You know, Doc, I feel pretty okay. I mean, as okay as I usually do. So, still kind of shitty. But I don't think having people over has been rough on my health as you thought it might be. It's been really nice. Hear that? Reese can hang out with his friends again. If you're still feeling okay after dinner, maybe you could come along ghost hunting with... Oh. Jeez, Kanika. What's that for? Don't push it, Stella. Just say next time instead of kicking me, your boots are heavy. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. We're totally respectful of Reese's boundaries, even though they might seem a little arbitrary and strict. They're not arbitrary. These rules are in place for a good reason. Tell me how great you feel in an hour when the exhaustion catches up with you, Reese. You'll be knocking out all evening and regretting every minute of this. Let me assure you. As if I would regret being able to see other people for the first time in months. I don't care what happens. It was worth it. Aside from Reese's mom staring down the table, nobody's making eye contact with anyone else. We're not going to question the lack of parents. Small talk. Food is really good. Thanks for putting this together. How well do you know Tabitha? Not very. I know her a lot better if your family didn't seem to be so afraid of doctors. I can count on one hand the number of times she's been in my office. No wonder everyone but that old Reline died so young. Hopefully your mother was better about taking you to doctor's visits. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something genetic at play. And it's much better to catch these things early. Oh, I wanted to say that Tabitha admires you, dang it. Thanks for putting this together, Dr. Kelly. I don't usually have to cook for so many people. I'm just glad there's enough for everybody. It reminded me of what it used to be like when these two would come over, hungry teenagers, eating me out of house and home. Should have charged your parents for all that food you kids went through. Honestly, it was like I was running a restaurant, not a doctor's office. What were Stella and Kanika like as kids? Noisy, messy, like all kids. And they always had those little projects, videos or crafts or animal rescues or whatever was that they'd captured their imagination for that week. So like I said, noisy and messy. Didn't we bring a dead squirrel into the house once? Oh God, not the squirrel. I remember that squirrel. Didn't you think Doc could Frankenstein it back to life or something? I was like 12. It's very susceptible to what I saw in the media. I'm very sad about the squirrel. That was one of those things that keeps me up at night. I still feel guilty about bringing that thing into Dr. Kelly's house. Just glad you didn't make it a habit. Yeah, we don't get to ask about Tabitha. Danger. Have the police contact you about Duke's body? Any weird hairless creatures scurrying around the wood. Everyone come in suffering from hallucinations. Do you know Sam Wayne? Sam Wayne? Dr. Kelly takes a moment to think. No, doesn't ring a bell. Somebody you know? Someone's been following Tim around. Super mysterious guy. We have reason to believe that he might have caught some weird illnesses at the mines. He definitely looks like he could use medical help. Please let us know if he shows up or anything. If there's someone harassing you, you should get the police involved. This isn't any of my business. Have there been any strange illnesses spreading around town? What? No. Are you sure you haven't met with miners who had unusual symptoms? Anyone who seems sort of drippy? At the drip? Or strangely ominous when they talked? Sorry to pry, just doing my due diligence. Absolutely not. I've barely seen so much as a runny nose, which is a good thing. If you're so concerned about the mine, why don't you just have Tema ask Tabitha? I'm no interested in violating HIPAA. Or your weird little investigations into nothing. So HIPAA is an act in the United States. It's a law that protects patient privacy. So it basically doesn't allow you to share identifying information about patients. So if a doctor had seen a patient, she wouldn't be allowed to tell us that she had seen Wayne as a patient. Or like what his condition was. It wouldn't stop you from sharing ambiguous information. Like you could say, hey, there's been an increase in flus. Make sure you get your flu shot, right? That wouldn't be a HIPAA violation. But if she were to say, oh yeah, Wayne had the flu, that would be a HIPAA violation. Let's see. Excuse me. You see any weird hairless creatures scurrying around in the woods? I don't tend to go wandering in the woods, so no. You don't have to go all the way to the woods. They've been coming to our window at night. They've been what? There are these things called ditchlings. They've been preying on local wildlife. Come out, and I found a whole nest of them the other night when we... Oh, I see. Some of your little cryptozoology creatures. I know it sounds pretty out there. I've seen these things in person. We're not messing around. They're out there, laying eggs in animals and doing God knows what else. And here I thought you finally managed to get a head on your shoulders, Kanika. Seems like Stella might be a bad influence on you. I know her little stories can be convincing. That's only because she's managed to so thoroughly convince herself. She's not making up stories. Neither is Kanika, nor am I. All you have to do is look outside after dark. There have been more and more every night. They're all pale and doughy, and their faces are like sculptures of human that didn't set right. I see you stay up too late painting your grisly faces, so you started to see them everywhere. I'm sure whatever's outside is just raccoons or the wind. Stop doubting everything I say. Stop trying to rewrite things I tell you. Fit whatever you think to be true. There's weird shit going on down in Scarlet's Hollow, whether you want to face it or not. Aside from Reese's mom staring down the table, nobody's making eye contact with anyone else. Have you seen any sick animals lately? I'm a doctor, not a vet. Didn't come in with some sick cow. Wait, didn't someone come in with a sick cow last week? Yes, but it's not like I examined the thing. I told them just what I told you and sent them on their way. You said it had lumps. Sure, it had lumps, but I assume it was suffering from some cow disease. It's not something I've done much research on. I don't know how normal it is for cows to be covered in lumps. Doesn't it sound like ditchlings? Are no farm animals safe from their devious clutches? Dr. Kelly, in Stella's footage, it looked like there was something pulsating from inside one of the Duke's chickens. I bet it was one of those lumps on the cows. You really should have taken a look. You could have made discoveries previously unknown to the scientific world. Or I could have spread some new horrible disease to my chronically ill son. I'll leave these discoveries to somebody else. The more you talk, the less you feel like you're having a conversation and more like you're treading on eggshells. Has anyone come in suffering from hallucinations? I'm not at liberty to discuss my private medical information. Are you sure? Not even a little bit? It'd help our investigation into the strange going on. It's not like you have to name any names. Investigation into what? The mine collapse? Your little ghouls? I think this best be left to professionals, Stella. Not someone who runs around in the woods with a camcorder. Judging by the police response so far, Dr. Kelly, I don't think it is. We saw some stuff down in the mines last night that I struggle to explain. Maybe if we knew if there were any miners suffering from hallucinations, we could just rule it out as a gas leak, but you were in the abandoned mine? The chances of you huffing something dangerous and hallucinatory are through the roof. Leave it at that. Treat it as the tragic accident was, not like some kind of mystery to unravel. You're a doctor. Where were you last night when Rosalina got hurt? Yeah, I mean, if she's like we don't even know what she practices. Yeah, that's not really too relevant. Well, fatigue has overcome me, no matter how much I want to continue following along, because it only gets better, and the next part will be very good. I must say goodnight. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out, Luvato, and welcome. I think we are going to probably finish this episode and then save the rest for next Saturday. So yeah, it's good to see you, and thanks for hanging out for so long. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Get some rest. Let's see. Danger. No. Anything? Good night. You remain silent, quietly picking at store-bought spaghetti and dinner rolls. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week, while Tima's still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure I'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever gonna change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in a basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask permission from my mom just to have some friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain, wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try to fix. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself up from the table and leaves. Damn it, I knew this would be too much. Everyone, get out of my house. Please just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with us. All it does is make him hurt more. But we can't leave him like this. Now is when he needs friends the most. No. Now is when he needs me the most. I'm his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him. I know that. And he knows it too. But all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave, please. I don't think I know when something's up. Don't think I don't know when something's up here. Don't think we don't know something's up here. Don't think we don't know something's up here. Yeah. Wait, do we? I don't care what you think. I just want you out so I can take care of my son. The three of you rush to the door. We'll be back, Reese. Hope you feel better soon. Dr. Kelly shuts the door in their faces. The click of the lock signals the end of your dinner at Reese's. The door to the clinic felt like it had the same pull on me as the carving in the mines. Do you think something's back there? Another one of those carvings is somewhere in there, I'm certain of it. Okay, that'd be really weird. If we find it, do you think we get another vision? I'm just spitballing here. I wonder if what the carving showed you last night is relating to the ditch things. You're not suggesting we go poke around in there, are you? Of course I am. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not breaking into Dr. Kelly's clinic based on Tima's bad vibe. Do you think Reese might have a supernatural affliction related to what you felt in there? If he did, why wouldn't Dr. Kelly have it? It makes more sense he's just has a genetic condition, assuming there isn't any foul play. Foul play? The whole thing is just fishy, and after tonight I feel like my fear of Dr. Kelly is a lot more justified than I thought. He's just overprotective, and that's all that's going on. He has every right to be. I mean, the poor guy took 2 bites of his food and got sick immediately. I can't imagine what it's like for both of them to go through that. Look, I'm just saying, maybe there's more to the dynamic than just him being sick, but it's like there's much more we can do about right now. We could probably go back and forth on this for a while. Let's grab Gretchen and get going. The sun's setting, and we wouldn't want to miss a second of ghost action. Estrella hurries off down the hill, almost as if to run away from what just happened. You and Kanika follow her down the darkening street. Alright, gamers. I think here's where we're going to end it. And we'll pick this up. We'll pick this up next Saturday for sure. Let me do that. Friends, do hang out. Do hang out for the raid. We're gonna raid out. Get some channel points. You can use them to buy a sub. But real quick, let me let's find a friendo to raid. Hang out, get those channel points, and if you got a raid and run, feel free. I will be raiding and taking a quick break from Twitch. Just a quick one. I'll be hanging out all night though. Thank you again, Blue Vito, for the follow. Soulcat, thank you for the resub. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all. Thank you everybody for stopping in. Thank you for all the lurks. Thank you for all the tabs. I hope you enjoyed. This game is actually quite interesting. This game is really, really good. All right. I actually wasn't expecting the homie to be streaming tonight. There's a lot of homies streaming right now, but you know, we're gonna go raid our friendo. Hippie was in here earlier. He was in here earlier hanging out. He's streaming. He usually doesn't stream on Saturdays. Hippie is an 18 and up channel. So if you're not 18 up, feel free to drop out of this raid. If you do, just feel free to hang out for the raid. If you got to drop, no worries. I will need to take a break after the raid. Thank you again so much for hanging out, everybody who hung out and tabbed and lurked, and everybody was chatting, the subs, the follows. Really appreciate you all. I hope you had a good time. That is a good game. We'll be picking it up next Saturday. Yes. Great stream. I will really try to stream more next week. Next week's going to be a rough week for me. I already know. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to stream, but I will try to stream more during the week. Yes. But again, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Yeah. See you next time. Later.